So the combine this week. You got an opinion on it?
Not really when it comes to the talent of the player, because you've got I don't know how many years of football for these guys to basically look at the tape. I don't know what's going to happen over the end of this past college football season all the way up to March that's going to make you say, yeah, we should draft this kid. But that being said, I think it's interesting about these different tests, and especially when we talk about athletes and how much pressure is on them. We've talked a lot about their mental health and the importance of it. You remember there was a lot of controversy over this Wonderlic test or these psychological tests. I still believe that there's some sort of bias that goes along with them, but it's worth the discussion to find out what type of human being you have. That being said, they already have private eyes and investigators that can tell you about these kids.
But what about those psychological tests? I mean, there's been a pushback lately. I mean, C.J. Stroud was so I guess smeared is a decent enough word. It happened last year in terms of one of these things. And now there's some players that are refusing to take them.
Which I completely understand. Look, I mean, you look at a guy like C.J. Stroud, right? He scored like a ridiculously low test on whatever the aptitude test is now. I mean, if you watch him play football, that guy read a defense pretty well his rookie season. They win a division with one of the worst teams in the league the year before and go to the playoffs. I mean, there's examples of that over and over and over again. I don't put too much stock in those tests. However, I do find myself oddly addicted to watching every single drill that they air on the NFL network when these guys go. And I'm not a scout. I don't know what I'm looking for. But like you said, the pressure is so high. Yeah. These are the best athletes of their towns. They've been the best athletes their entire life. Now they're all up against each other. Teron Johnson a couple years ago, Bills nickel corner, one of the best in the league, almost blew his chance of playing in the league because he took a football to the head when he was looking the other way in a drill. It's one of the funniest clips of all time. You can go find it if you want to, but I need it. I just need football in some way, and this gives it to me.
What these things are so funny is that like they do all this evaluation, and yet all this seems to amount to me is like 5 years later, we're laughing at watching guys run the 40 and reading their scouting reports as to how wrong they were 5 years out.
Well, I love it. And I love it when people put their name to it because they're totally wrong about a guy they evaluated. They've evaluated. Look at last year, a couple of years ago, the Jets go for a quarterback. Look at the arm strength. Unbelievable. Great pro day. Just couldn't read a defense, couldn't get past the basic, lines of defense that he was able to face in the first few years of the NFL season. We do this all the time. So we look for the guy with the greatest arm, the fastest speed, unbelievable. And then we ignore the tape that they have for the last 3 years. We draft them, take a chance on them, and then somewhere along the line we wonder why they went wrong.
Okay, the guy I always think about is Eric Flowers. Remember Eric Flowers?
Big time.
Oh my God. He was such a physical specimen, a defensive end that the Bills drafted high. He just looked like the perfect football player.
Sure.
Did nothing.
No, you're right. The same thing happened with Aaron Maben playing 1 year at Penn State, was a all-star at the Combine. But look, here's the thing. The Bills need a wide receiver in the first 3 rounds of the draft, maybe 2 out of the first 3 rounds of the draft. I'm going to watch all the wide receiver drills. I am going to decide which one the best one is, and I'm going to be furious if the Bills don't take him. And you bring up Combine all-stars, right? A name that you will remember because he at one point owned the record for most bench presses by a rookie at the Combine, Leif Larson. Ooh. I believe Icelandic native, number 97 in your programs, number 1 in your heart. He was my favorite Bill for 2 seasons. Right? What? Yeah, I think so, something like that.
Why are you going to watch? Are you going to work out while these guys are running these combines and doing these drills?
I hadn't thought about that. Which ones work? There's got to be something in there that you can attach yourself to and say, this works.
No, I mean, what is it, the 40? That's about it?
Well, maybe? No, I would argue.
And sometimes that doesn't work either.
I would argue the 40 is the least reliable. I mean, the shuttle, the ability to check someone's agility for all different positions, that's the most important thing. And you're right. It's probably all parlor games. It's all tricks because these guys specifically train for these drills. So you're not getting their authentic athletic ability. You're getting how well they are at these drills. That being said, I'm going to watch it.
What is going to happen when the Bills do not draft the wide receiver you love and you're sitting there on draft day like, you're just putting more pressure on yourself and giving yourself more anxiety.
You're right. I'm going to be just as furious as I was when the Bills drafted Josh Allen instead of Josh Rosen, and I thought our franchise was going down the tubes. Just let me have my fun. Just let me have my fun.
That's fun
Plus,
for you.
He thrives on anxiety. You know this.
I'm just hanging out with you guys.